we were the largest textile exporting country in the world. 85% of the world's exports in textiles was India. Between 1800 and 1860, systematically, Her Majesty's, I'm sorry, works systematically destroyed textile industry. Well, this is not to create bitterness, but this is a fact of history, that somebody took advantage of it and they developed their industry and they destroyed another nation's industry. And because of this, people went into farming to survive, because it is believed that there's no records of how many Indians die usually. Between 1800 and 1860, it is believed about 1.5 to 1.7 million textile weavers died out of starvation and lack of… because textile export dropped by 98% in 60 years.
Wow.
And its value dropped by 6,300% in 60 years' time. So people lost their livelihoods, and that's when everybody moved into agriculture. When the British left in 1947, over 90% of Indians were in agriculture. Not all of them are farmers, most of them were weavers and related industry who all went into farming just to survive, to scratch the earth and have something to eat. Subsistence farming became a big part of Indian survival. It is only now they're again moving out into various other activities. And even today, in the last 10 years, over 300,000 farmers have committed suicide because they're all growing only food from their old practice of growing food for their own survival. Our intent is at least 30% of the farmers or farmland should go into natural fiber.
Back into textiles.
Yes, because they're only growing perishable items and there is no market system where perishable items will be preserved and he will get the right kind of price. If he has a bad crop, he has a bad crop and he dies out of that. If he has a good crop, the prices will crash in the market and he'll die out of that. This is the way the economy is going all the time.
Sure.
So shifting a percentage of land into natural fiber will be a big step in that direction. Even today, over 4 million families are involved in textiles. Out of these 136 weaves that I'm talking about, nearly 67 of them are almost extinct.
Yes.
Just one family, one old man keeping it alive. His children have already become software engineers they are somewhere else in the world.
Yeah.
And just this one more person dies in the next 10–15 years' time, that form of weaving will just die. How distinct it is means, there is a place, this is… because you're a fashion person, you must visit these places, they're unique. There's a place called Gulled Gudda, that means in meaning, it's a Kannada word, it means that a hill that ran away.
A hill that ran away?
Yes. Because way back, we don't know when, what dates, a whole village lived on the hill. For some reason, maybe they ran out of water, I don't know what happened, they all moved to the plains. So in that one village, they have a distinct way of making only blouse pieces, you know the Indian sari blouse.
Of course.
They make only that particular thing, it is made only in that particular village in the entire country.
Wow.
It is… that blouse piece only they make, they can't make it any longer, they are trained only to do that. And that has a market in a certain sort of people. But all these things are disappearing because no designer to tell them, okay, you can make some other kind of… the same weave, you can make it into a dress material or you can make it into something else, because the number of people wearing saris has dropped dramatically in the last 10 years. It's almost disappearing, except in southern India, in the north you hardly see anybody in saris. So, the market is disappearing and naturally the talent will disappear. These are things that we must be proud of, because how many ways human beings learn to do things with their hands is incredible.
Right. So what will it take, Sadhguru, to get, this 30% target that you've set, to shift people back into the natural creation?
A live market, a demanding live market.
Okay, tell me more about that.
So that's why we're in America, because on an average, an American person dumps about 28 kilograms of clothing every year. In India, the average is about 1.5 kilograms of clothing is dumped. In America, it's 28 kilograms per person is dumped into the dump. So the highest consumption of clothing is happening here. This is where the real market is. And above all, this is kind of a showroom market. What happens here will naturally happen in the rest of the world. In that context, creating a market in America is very important for natural fiber.